Om Shanti. Good evening and welcome to Soul to Soul. This is Rose from InnerSpace in Glasgow. And we're going to look at putting a stop to waste thoughts. So waste is waste. Whether it's rubbish piled up in the street or whether it's rubbish piled up in our heads. And at the moment we're looking at to get rid of the waste. You could tell the waste to stop, but for that you actually need power. And Raj Yoga teaches us that our original nature is peace. So I need the power of peace to give me the strength to understand waste. And be able to see the disadvantage that waste is creating for me and gives me the power to stop. One thing that happens is you keep asking too many unnecessary questions, which means you're not believing what you hear. It's one thing to want to sincerely know. It's a different way of asking questions. So there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but check the self as to how you feel about what you're asking. And you need to have an aim. You need to have believed that you're this energy, this living life in the center of the forehead. And what Raj Yoga is offering you, offering to lift up your energy and enable you to be happy, to feel free, not just wander around without any focus or destination, because then it's easy for waste to come in. If I have a clear focus on peace and love, then I'll be able to bypass obstacles and waste more easily. Okay. So wasteful thoughts will bring you down, and powerful thoughts will lift your energy up. And waste thoughts make you disheartened and afraid. And waste thoughts are very fast. Sometimes a sign of waste thoughts is if we speak too fast. If we speak really fast, it means we're thinking really fast. And if I'm thinking fast and speaking fast, I can't see what I'm thinking or saying, and I can't have any control. And so waste thoughts are fast, and they encourage you to build castles in the air, unrealistic plans, without any real steps to be able to achieve whatever that is. You just have big ideas, big plans, but you never do anything about it, like a fairy tale. If you want to stop waste, practice having patience in your thinking. And make sure your thoughts and your actions are aligned. And also waste will make you feel tired. Powerful thoughts will energize you. So it's worth really thinking of this. I think a good method is to slow down the speaking. If I slow down the speaking, I'm also slowing down the thoughts. It's easier to see my words than to see my thoughts. And by doing that, even if I'm about to make a mistake or I'm halfway into a mistake, I can somehow draw it back. But if I'm too fast, it's done, it's said, and it could cause an argument or whatever, and I can't stop it. So to make sure that your thoughts are nicely balanced, they're not too heated and they're not too cold, too cruel or judgmental. So we say it's a bit like springtime, it's not too hot, not too cold. And you don't want to have an empty intellect. Otherwise waste will move in and occupy the space. So if I'm not thinking and all I'm doing is like having like a dead inside with nothing much happening there, then waste will come in. Then I'll start to have a lot of negativity happen. So keep your thoughts on pure and positive topics, spiritual things. I am a soul. What is the wonder of the fact I am a soul? I can teach myself to respect myself and to have happiness. There's also power to sit with others who are thinking in a similar way. So just imagine if we all have the kind of thought of peace or kindness or happiness, and we're all sitting together like we're sitting just now together. And if we had some of these sort of powerful energies going on in our head, then the gathering that we've created would be sending those energies out into the world in a very powerful way. We would be creating something quite amazing. So there is power in collective thoughts. It's very powerful. So to stop the waste and use your treasure of thought, and see that when waste and fear builds up in our mind and body, we can become very pressurized, on the verge of exploding even, into anger, annoyance, despair. All these energies are just ready to go. So why make yourself have a build-up? Why not have some positive self-talk? How can we have positive self-talk? Do you talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love? You should ask yourself that question. I don't think we do, because I was looking at that as well. Because if you loved yourself, you would be looking forward to be with yourself, and you'd be seeing a wee bit more and more of the best of yourself. And you would be encouraging the self, appreciative of the self. And we're saying here, so how would it be if the divine were to speak to us in that way? Would he encourage us? Or would that one just say, oh, I'm too busy? How would that feel? That would never happen, because that one is always thinking that we're beautiful points of peace, that we're the children of the one above. So daily meditation actually is a really important thing. So if every day I take time and I look at myself, and if I have any questions, I usually save it for early in the morning or meditation in the evening, and without making big decisions, I think, no, wait. Just think of it, and when you're cool and calm, and thinking of the one above, and it's almost like having guidance as the way to go. So it safeguards our energy.
When you described about waste being connected with speed, That's interesting, and I can see, just as you're saying it, the fast thoughts, fast words generates masses of waste, and I like the practical tip to just slow down the speed of my speech for starters.
Yeah.
Sounds simple, but in today's world and in a work environment, to have to really pay attention to the self, to not let that slip.
Yeah. Because everyone talks at such a speed nowadays.
So fast.
The speed is intense. In fact, I can hardly make them out now. It's such a, especially if it's a different, coming from a different part of the country, and you're not used to their words, and they talk really fast. I've quite often on the phone I have said, excuse me, unless you speak more slowly, I can't listen to you any longer. I can't make out what you're saying. So, but a lot of people have to do that because they're reading a script, and they're exhausted trying to keep saying all the words over and over and over throughout the day. But again, that's an unusual situation, but our every day-to-day personal way of being, we should take our time and make our words meaningful, because then they're full of feeling. They have a vibration of peace and love and respect. I should respect the people's ears that are hearing what I say, so they can hear what I say.
And right at the beginning you mentioned about questioning in a kind of almost like a habitual way, whereas it's almost like I'm afraid to actually rest my mind on anything and take anything forward. So I choose rather just to be like super cynical really about everything. And I think there's a lot of that in today's world, because it's hard for people to grab the idea of goodness in the self even, or anywhere, and move towards that, growing that. There's so much cynicism, and that can just lead to over questioning in a really destructive way.
I think it's the fear factor again. People, it's unusual, and people want to pull it down and completely destroy it and feel that they're justified, that they wanted nothing to do with it, and they want to just, if they keep asking questions, we will not have the answers kind of thing. But it doesn't actually work like that, because we do have a lot of answers, but when people are like that, they're filling themselves with waste and triumph in the wrong way. Yeah. So.
But I know that in Raj Yoga there's a nice expression as well, like don't beat your head. So if you're able to overcome that in the self, then when you meet others like that, you can recognise it and you think, well, don't beat your head over this person. Just leave them be with their questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the part about consistency of practice. So you've touched on the value of early morning and evening meditation. How to keep that patience going, not to just flit onto something. We like new things, so to kind of stick with something long enough, whatever practice it might be. Even if it's a really good spiritual practice, not to flit from one topic or idea or thing that you're pondering over too rapidly.
I think we have to make it be supportive of my life. And when it's supportive of my life, then I can see that this is a better way to go and that's a better way to go, and I need to sort this out, and I need to think about this, and I need to stay peaceful to see the proper way to understand this or whatever. But if I think it's just a big blank sheet sending wishes out into the world only, I have to be the first person in it, and it has to be that pertains to my life, and that it's so great for my life, and it's valuable and it's precious, and it's giving me a valuable and precious life experience.
So if I don't want an empty intellect, so the intellect's the thing that nudges my mind in the right direction, what do I want in my intellect? What do I need to hold in the intellect? What kind of ideas can I keep there? And how can I keep them there?
I need to know who I am and who I belong to. That's the seed. If I know who I am and who I belong to, and the benefits that are there for me, and no matter how negative I might be and how much in rebellion I might be, or how much waste there is that I don't know how I'm going to cope with this, but I would keep going. But I need to know who I am and what's on offer. If I can appreciate all of that, then my intellect, I'll fill it with more positive and more positive thoughts.
And what would be a starting point in answer to those questions for me to look at in meditation? Who am I and who do I belong to?
Who do I belong to? First of all, I belong to the one above, and I lived there with the one above. I came down here to play my part. I had a long journey, and my journey has filled me with many experiences, and now I've run out of my original energy, so I'm open to lots of waste and wondering what will happen, how can it happen, oh, maybe this, maybe that. So it's not that we're a bad guy because we think like that, but it means that I've run out of my original power. And thinking in wasteful ways isn't going to give me my power back. My power will come back through going back to my original nature. And so it's that I'm a being of peace and love and bliss. That'll give me back my power.
So I'm a being of thought, not a body.
Yeah, being of thought, being of energy, yeah. And I belong to the one above. I'm a soul, point of light energy, and I belong to the one above. The one above is the Father of all souls, and the energy of all souls is purest energy, peace, love, and happiness. And we lose this, and we move into stress and despair and worry and anger. Raj Yoga is taking me back to who I am, a being of peace. Beautiful, beautiful experience, becoming peaceful again. Our karmic accounts tug us and try to reassure us that despair and worry and anger are far more comfortable. That's because I've been used to being in despair for such a long time. If I'm lucky, I'll see that these thoughts were waste thoughts, and that my original energies are pure and powerful thoughts. I'm a soul, and I belong to the One. And so to practice this every day. Om Shanti. I'm a soul, point of light energy, and I belong to the One above. The One above is the Father of all souls, and the energy of all souls is purest energy, peace, love, and happiness. And we lose this, and we move into stress and despair and worry and anger. Raj Yoga is taking me back to who I am, a being of peace. Beautiful, beautiful experience, becoming peaceful again. Our karmic accounts tug us and try to reassure us that despair and worry and anger are far more comfortable. That's because I've been used to being in despair for such a long time. If I'm lucky, I'll see that these thoughts were waste thoughts, and that my original energies are pure and powerful thoughts. I'm a soul, and I belong to the One. And so to practice this every day. Om Shanti.